Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Don't Risk It podcast presented by VFIS Risk Control and Education. This program focuses on the exposures our clients frequently encounter and discusses some potential solutions to help reduce these exposures. I'm your host, Chris Rodgers, and today we're discussing the Length of Service Awards program, commonly referred to as LOSAP. Joining me on the program today is Sarah Talerico, and Sarah is a client relationship manager with the Gladfelter Specialty Benefits Program. Sarah is joining us today to provide some reminders to help best maintain the LOSAP program in your organization. Sarah, I want to thank you for joining me today, and I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So can you describe what LOSAP is for any listeners that might be unfamiliar with it?
Absolutely. A LOSAP is similar to a retirement program. VFIS offers a length of service awards program that is designed to help fire departments recruit, retain, and reward volunteers by providing financial benefits based on years of service to their community.
So what are some of the reminders that we should consider, for LOSAP sponsors? What reminders do they need to help maintain that program?
Okay, one of the big ones is that we want to make sure we always have a current plan contact designation on file with VFIS. That just lets us know who we are allowed to share important plan information with. We also suggest that you maintain updated records of all the members that are active, collecting, or terminated vested and do a benefit in the future. This helps when they do entitle that we can find, that we can locate them and get their paperwork to them so that they can start collecting their benefit.
So just a quick definition, what's the difference between a sponsor and a member?
So the sponsor would be typically the fire district. So that is the person that's basically in charge of the pension program of the LOSAP. They are typically a board or even the chief sometime is the sponsor. So it's basically the person in charge. They are the fiduciary of the LOSAP.
Okay. So can we move on to what some reminders that the members should consider as far as the LOSAP?
Absolutely. So basically, like I mentioned for the sponsors, you want to make sure that you keep your address and phone number updated with the fire department or the district so that they can get in touch with you to notify you of any changes or to provide you with entitlement paperwork. It's very important that you also keep your beneficiary information updated on file with the fire station. This would be for anybody under entitlement age. And then if you're over entitlement age, you're already collecting, you would want to keep that information updated with us. And this is very important if you've experienced a major life change, such as a marriage or divorce or the death of your current beneficiary.
Is that something that, we should possibly do annually just to make a routine thing of it, because it might not be in the minds of everyone to, a life-changing event that I need to go do that. Is that something you think we should force the hand a little bit to say, hey, has there been any type of events in your life that we might want to update the beneficiaries?
Absolutely. So we do urge the sponsor to hand out the annual summary of benefits to the members, and also to hand out a beneficiary form. That beneficiary form is also available on the VFIS website. But yes, best practice would be to update that on an annual basis just to make sure we have the current information.
Are there any couple of additional reminders for members that they should consider?
Absolutely. We do have the end of the year coming up very quickly. So we would like to just let you know that the 1099-Rs, which is how you're going to file your taxes, this is a taxable income, and that will go out by January 31st. So you should receive them. So please make sure that if you are collecting, that VFIS has your updated address before the end of the year so we can make sure those 1099-Rs go to the correct address. And then also, please review those annual summary of benefits that you get from your sponsor each year to verify that your records do match with what they have on there. If there is a discrepancy, please contact your sponsor immediately because decades-old records are not always available and not always easy to access. If you find an issue from 20 years ago, it might end up being what it is.
Which kind of reinforces that annual review of the program and making sure that everything is up to date.
Absolutely.
So one last area of reminders. What about group term life insurance reminders? Anything you recommend in that area?
Yes. So the group term life is another part of Gladfelter Specialty Benefits. And we also have a cancer policy as well. But all of those do use the same beneficiary forms. So if you have a beneficiary that you want for all three of them, you can list them all on that same form, which is great. Obviously, if you want someone different, then you would fill out a form for each policy or each benefit. We do want to remind the sponsor to review your census and send in changes as they occur to ensure we have the most accurate information at all times. This can affect who is covered in the event of death, so it's very important that you update that regularly. And all changes to your group term roster must be turned in 60 days prior to the renewal date in order for the changes to be reflected on the renewal and invoice.
So where could some listeners that might not be familiar with our program or might be interested in signing up with the program with us, where could they go to find out some information about the LOSAP program with Gladfelter?
Absolutely. So on VFIS.com, you can go on there and look for LOSAP. You can actually complete a request for proposal right on there. Additionally, you can find the blank beneficiary designation forms to complete and return to your sponsor. And there's plenty of information on there as to, all of the benefits that we offer at VFIS within Gladfelter Specialty Benefits.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate all that information, and I appreciate your time this morning to give us some reminders on things to help better manage this program. So, Sarah, it was a pleasure to have you on, and I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I want to thank you for listening to the program and for your interest in VFIS safety resources. I want to thank our guest, Sarah Talerico, once again for her time and information. Please consider subscribing to our program to stay up to date on new content releases. Also, if you like what you've heard, please consider leaving a review below. For more information about the many resources available from VFIS, please visit VFIS.com. And to submit ideas for future discussions, please reach out by emailing VFIS Risk Control at VFIS.com. Thanks, everyone, and have a great day. The views, information, or opinions expressed during this program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of Gladfelter Insurance Group, VFIS, and its employees.